Hey, yo, what's going on, friends? This is In Madness Pod, episode, I think, 24.5. It's Shawn the Butcher, here with my buddy Vertebrae33, as always. What up, Vertebrae?
What's going on, Shawn? How are you?
I am thrilled because
Yeah?
we have a very special guest for this episode. We've been making it our New Year's resolution to get more guests on the show, and I'm stoked to have the one, the only, Miss Cherry Delight. What's going on, Cherry?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Yes, thank you.
Good morning.
Yes. So we have to ask right now, mug. What mug is that? Vertebrae is obsessed with mugs.
Oh yeah,
This
that's
is Beetlejuice Handbook for the Recently Deceased. Which
Nice.
funny story about this mug. This mug was gifted to me by my good friend Dan Gladding. And Dan Gladding is how I learned about you, Shawn the Butcher, because Dan only listens to you. Every time I get in the car, it's always your voice on the radio. I was like, who is this? He's charming. It's like always, he's boneyard. He's always playing you, and I'm like, Shawn the Butcher, nice. And then turns out that Scott knew you so well. And then I met
Scott Summer. Yeah.
Scott Summer, my manager, and then we met in person. But Dan would just rave about you, like Shawn the Butcher.
I love Dan.
Dan is a sweetheart, and Dan gave me this for my birthday on Halloween. So,
Vertebrae, are you drinking out of a mug right now?
Yeah. I don't have his. Well, I go through the litany of
okay. I like
Star
that.
Wars mugs. You said I had to do a different one each time, right? Because I have so many mugs, so we have to filter the Star Wars ones into it. But I was looking for. I have a Hellboy mug, and I was gonna have it for this episode, but I couldn't find it. I don't know where I put it.
Miss Cherry Delight, what are you on the socials? Give out your socials real quick.
it's very easy. Just Miss Cherry Delight, all lowercase, no spaces on everything.
Make sure you follow us as well at In Madness Pod, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. Hit us in the mail sack. Send your emails. And now we're discussing possibly voice notes to inmadnesspod@gmail.com. If we dig your voice notes, maybe we'll air some of your voice notes on an upcoming .5 episode. Subscribe to the YouTube so you can see Miss Cherry Delight drinking water out of a bottle and getting it all over the place.
Like this?
Yes. Give us 5 stars on the YouTube. Subscribe to the In Madness Spotify playlist, which grows every single episode, throwing songs on that either relate to our guests or relate to the movies that we're playing. Happy In Madness Monday. If you're listening on In Madness Monday, brand new episodes drop every single week. Tell your friends, spread the madness worldwide, and send us some voice notes.
Spread the madness like a pair of legs.
Exactly. Send the voice notes to inmadnesspod@gmail.com, and we'll read your voice notes on the air if they're good. We have to.
No, Shawn. Actually, I like the idea. If they're bad, we read it.
We're gonna play them cold. I think play them cold like we read the emails.
Yes, yeah. It might just be you. You forgot you sent yourself a voice note to pick something up at the grocery store. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll
Those are all very good. It's gonna be like that Tim and Eric bad cable access vibe.
You're a big Tim and Eric fan?
Yes, I am. I'm such a disgusting Tim and Eric fan. I love all of it. I love the deep cuts. I mean, everything from like the first season of Awesome Show to Beef House to like all the stupid little things. Steve Brule, check it out. Like
Steve Brule.
What's the Nightmare Show that they have? Those episodes are so disgusting and gross and scary and disturbing. What is it? Tim and Eric Nightmares? What is it called? Something like that. But I absolutely love those. They're crazy. And I've met DJ Doug Pound on the train once, which was ridiculous. Anyway, back to me.
We're fresh off the heels of our Fire in the Sky episode. This episode we're doing with you is right after our Fire in the Sky episode. Have you ever seen Fire in the Sky? Are you an Alien fan?
I like Alien, but I haven't seen Fire in the Sky yet. Please go on.
Yes, I highly recommend you check out Fire in the Sky. I think it's a good, if you're into alien like movies and outer space sort of things, I feel like it's good for anyone to check out. We got a lot of hits when we did that episode. It was very cool to see everyone freaking out about all the alien stuff we were doing. I first want to introduce you just by telling how I met you and all the cool things you do really quick, because you are a very talented individual and you have your hand in a lot of things and you work very
a lot of things.
Yes. You work very hard. You, like we mentioned before, our buddy Scott Summer, I was introduced to you through him. He got tickets to your show at Coney Island for a birthday of his, and it was me and my girlfriend and Scott, and we were going to go see your show at Coney Island, Cherry Helides.
That was Cherry Helides 3.
Yes. And Scott ended up getting COVID. And I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity to see this show. So we went and we had one of the greatest nights of our lives. You were on stage kicking ass, singing songs, and capped off a recent show by getting naked and jumping into a bathtub full of blood like Elizabeth Bathory, and it was just one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Can you just describe what that show is, the Cherry Helides show, for the In Madness audience?
Well, the finale of this last one, Cherry Helides 4, I set myself on fire.
Hell yeah.
My actual body on fire. Listen, for art, for you guys, anything. I will go the distance, even setting my skin on fire. So Cherry Helides is, that's my baby. So imagine like the craziest burlesque and sideshow show possible. No pasties, no underwear, performers who just don't give a fuck. Super talented, incredible, captivating people who do really insane things on stage and do not care. Like, and then imagine a show like that where for each act, there's a live rock band on the stage next to them, and all the music is being sung by me, like 12, 13 songs throughout the entire night. Most of them for this show are covers, but there are some songs that I'll do that are originals. It's the only time of year that I get to actually do any covers. So I play around with that. Otherwise, I don't do covers with my actual band, except every once in a while, we'll do Flesh is the Law by Jenna Torturers, because it is my favorite song. And I wish that I wrote it, but Jen wrote it, you know, but I love performing that song, even though it is not mine. But otherwise, Helides is insane. The raffle is crazy. Now, a raffle, you're supposed to try to get back money from the show for the raffle. But I'm an idiot because I just put in the craziest, most expensive shit because I like wowing people. I hate shit raffles. I hate like, here, win this rubber chicken, win, you know, this and that, win this little slinky. I don't want your fucking slinkies and I don't want your rubber chickens. I can buy those things myself. I want gift certificates. I want opportunities. I want priceless pieces of rock and roll art. Like, I want crazy shit. And I love hearing the audience stir in the audience like, oh shit, I have to fucking win this shit. The raffle takes like a good 45 minutes. So everyone wants it.
I love the way you do the raffle. You have a chick on stage, spread eagle, and you can get a raffle strip from leg to leg. And that's how you charge per raffle ticket.
It's 1 for 2, 3 for 5, 10 for 10. And then she does a spread eagle or 20 toe to toe. And of course, everyone wants the 20 toe to toe.
Yeah.
So that's my little my little thing. And then we have several winners for the raffle because it would be crazy if it was just one person. That wouldn't be fair. So we have usually like 4 winners. and they're very happy, and it's a lot of fun.
Scott
But,
won, and he gave us
Scott won. Yes,
we
it's so
shared the
good.
potato chips. I forgot which potato chips. They were little ghosts or something.
Yes, Monster Munch.
Monster Munch. I'm
best.
going to post the Monster Munch on the Id Madness socials because it was one of the coolest snacks I've ever eaten.
I almost brought a bag over it into this room. But yeah, Helides is insane. It's gotten crazier and crazier every year.
And you curate this entire thing. You host this entire thing.
And I fund this entire thing. It's all coming out of me, baby. Ugh. But anyway, it's so worth it, and we always profit. And the performers are insane. And hearing the audience like chant my name like is something that I don't think I'll ever get used to. But like when I do hear it, I'm just like, you know.
Do they chant the whole? What is the chant? I'm curious.
Jerry, much like Jerry Springer.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But at the end of my shows, you know, venue permitting, I mean, Helides is always in Coney Island, so Coney Island you can pretty much get away with a lot of stuff. So at the end of my shows, like I always get butt naked, you know. The nipples, the vulva, you're getting it all. And then I have like a blood ritual sacrifice. And this year what we did, like I said, was we set me on fire and then we put it out with blood, and we had a blood orgy on stage where all these gorgeous people were just like marinating me with blood as I'm like bucking my hips on stage, and I'm fucking naked, and the audience went crazy, and it was so much fun. And I'm just, you know, when I have blood on me, like it's just my Cinderella moment. Like I can't really describe. It's just, you know, some models just put blood on them just to have it, but with me, it's just like a part of me. Like I can't describe like how it just is. It's my war paint, you know. It's special. It's not just ooh, look at me, I'm covered in blood. It's just like a, you know, like. And also I should mention about the nudity thing. When I'm naked on stage, it's not like a come here daddy situation. It's a very much I'd like to see you fucking try, you know, moment. It's a very empowering thing. So the more things I take off, the more powerful I get. And I'm never naked for you. I'm naked at you. The whole point is to make people very uncomfortable. And it doesn't matter like if I'm not ugly. What matters is it's a visceral thing.
And I would feel like being covered in blood would make that even more empowering.
It's unsettling. It's very unsettling. And the point of having nudity in any of my shows is never to be a sex pot. It's always to give you nightmares.
So, Shawn, I mean, I'm thinking maybe this is a way you finish all our podcast episodes now.
Oh, me. I'm going to get naked and jump in covered in blood for every single episode.
Yeah, a little sweat. It's funny because like you have like this title, Shawn the Butcher, but you're like such a cutie smiley. And I have like this cutie smiley Miss Cherry Delight thing, but then like when you see on stage, I'm like,
yeah.
So I wanted to ask, when Shawn said you were going to be on, I got to do my research and I got to dig in and check out your site and listen to your music and everything. And I'm jumping the gun maybe, Shawn, but you have a new album coming out soon. Am I correct?
I have a new album come out and we can talk about it for the first time here. I haven't talked about it in any new interviews yet.
Wow.
So we'll talk about it with you guys first.
Hell yeah. So this is one of your major passions because this is also part of your show, but you also do your own original music with your own band, and you have a song Cherry Blood is on Spotify, almost at 1 million views. We're gonna add that to our In Madness Spotify playlist so we can bump that up to 1 million. But yes, tell me everything, Miss Cherry Delight. Tell me about the band, fronting your own band, performing. Tell me all about it.
Well, like I said, Helides is like a thing that I do throughout the year, but my actual project of my band, Miss Cherry Delight, like that's my actual life. You know, I've been doing this since late 2018, but I've been a professional singer for 23 years, which is crazy to say out loud because it makes me feel like a grandma. 23 years is like what? Anyway, you know, I'm a classically trained singer, and I have a very heavy background in jazz and blues. But of course, jazz and blues, as we know in music history, had a baby, and that baby was called rock and roll. And then rock and roll made metal. So it's funny because like in that same fashion, I have used my background in those genres to power the my voice when I sing rock. There is a foundation of power and passion with jazz and blues that elevates my voice into something that very few singers out there in the rock and metal world are really like honing into right now. So I'm pretty proud of that. But I wouldn't be able to help it because that's just me. And my producer and lead guitarist, Jay Murder, Justin Ethan Matthews, is my music partner, and I could not do any of this without him. He is just the most incredible virtuoso. He is a genius, a musical genius. He is a musical god. Like he's gonna laugh when he hears this, but it's true. It's really fucking true. And I don't mince my words, so I would never say that about someone if I didn't fucking mean it. Because I'm a Scorpio, you know. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. That man is I don't know what to say except I'm not worthy. But it's amazing to have him as a musical partner. Is just together we are frankly unstoppable. And I'm so lucky to have such talented bandmates who, you know, this is how you do it. I'll tell you right now, if there are any musicians out there who want to do what I'm doing, the first rule is never hire your friends. Don't do it. Don't do it unless they are so talented that you'd be stupid not to. But 98% of the time, don't hire your friends. You have to hire the hired guns, and then they become your friends, and then they become your family. Because you want professionalism right off the bat. You want people you can rely on. You don't want people who are going to flake on you. You don't want people who are going to take advantage of you. You want people who are going to show up and fucking kill it every time. When people come to your shows, they go, I knew you were in a band, but I didn't know you were good, because everyone in New York's in a fucking band. So you tell someone you're in a band, they go, oh, that's cute. And then they see your stuff, and they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I told you that I'm a musician. You didn't believe me. You know? So, you know, I'm a shock rocker, and that's, you know, marrying theatricality and acting with you know, rock. And I've been acting my whole life. I went to school on Broadway. I went to school at Circle and Square Theater School, and they only take 50 students. Is it 50 students? Something like that. 50 students, like internationally a year. So I was a part of that. And then I left that and started doing burlesque. And I did burlesque for 14 years, and I'm a pageant queen. I Miss Coney Island 2013. And
I was going to bring that up. So you're past Miss Coney Island.
I am.
So what are the accolades that comes with that? What comes with being Miss Coney Island?
Well, it's a lot of responsibility now. You know, when it first began, it was my mentor, Bambi the Mermaid, and she's the queen of Coney Island. Fun fact, she is married to Sexecutioner from Guar, Mr. Chuck Varga. So they are both mentors of mine, which is a very lucky thing for me to have two incredible, legendary performers who kind of watch over me, and I can pitch things in front of, and they can tell me if it's a good idea or if I could try something else. But Bambi is the queen of Coney Island, and she is the first Miss Coney Island. And it started off as like a kind of silly joke pageant thing, and as the years have gone by, it's become more and more of an honor to really do it, because you get to become like an ambassador and someone who really is the face of our organization, Coney Island USA, which is a non-for-profit. So our current reigning Miss Coney Island, Aurora North, is fucking killing it. She's an incredible circus performer and has been working in Coney for a long time in the grind. And she has a Pilates and yoga studio with one of her wife, one of my incredible witch sisters, Faux Pas LaFay. And her way of giving back this year to raise money for Coney Island is she's doing for every Pilates class that you get at her studio, Body Who, they give $1 to Coney Island USA, and then she's also teaching pay what you can classes at our theater, which is so cool and so creative. So you can do lots of things like that. But for the actual pageant, it's not a regular pageant. It's Coney Island. So you can do the craziest shit ever, because it's like a parody on a pageant, but there's 3 categories. It's evening wear, talent, and swimwear. But it's insane. And it should be really just completely out there. Show who you are, but no matter what, it has to be someone with the most Coney Island spirit. It can't be the prettiest girl. It can't be, this or that. It's not like a regular pageant. You have to show how much you love Coney. And also, the other thing about this is you can't ask to compete for this. Bambi scouts girls every year, and she handpicks anyone who has the most moxie to be able to do this. So just Bambi asking you alone is such a huge deal, because like me, she's very... if she asks you, that's a huge honor, alone. So and also, whether you win or whether you lose, that's it. If you lose,
just once.
If you lose, you'll never be Miss Coney Island. So the stakes are very high. So even if you win, you can't do it again. You have one shot and that's it. So
is there a wall and a plaque, or is there past winners?
There is, but it's incorrect because they put it as the year that I competed. So I competed in 2012, but I missed Coney Island 2013. Mm-hmm. So I had from September 2012 to September 2013 for my reign. But the plaque says Miss Coney Island 2012, but
yeah, their calendars are weird.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm on a plaque. I'm grateful. It's very wonderful to be able to have done this. It's a huge honor. But everything that I've learned along the way from being at Circle in the Square, from doing burlesque for so many years, from doing singing all my stuff, and everything that I've learned has led me to this point. This is what I'm actually been destined to do, is to be Miss Cherry Delight and to create this music and to charge forward with this thing. And it's going to be the legacy that I leave behind. It's the most important thing that I'm doing. The new album.
Tell us about it.
I'm telling you the title for the first. I've never said the title out loud anywhere. I haven't typed it anywhere. I haven't told any fans this. I haven't even told my Patreon this.
Thank you, Cherry.
I'm telling you. It's called Advice for Ashes.
Nice.
Dig it.
The idea.
When does it come out?
We are going to have it come out later on this year, but we're going to have several singles with music videos come out. Nice. Leading up to it, so people have something to look forward to. Then the album will drop with about 5 songs you haven't heard, so then you'll have the whole collection with songs you haven't heard yet. But we've been working on this for a long time. Eat the Evidence was like an actual baby. From conception to delivery, it was 9 months, just like a real fucking baby, which is crazy. Music is my baby. I'm getting the snip this year. I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations.
And I will be a cum dumpster, and it will be Just absolutely. I'll be a living Twinkie, and I can't wait. But
Congrats, Miss Cherry.
oh, thank you so much. But my music is my baby. My future is my baby. I'm my own baby. I'm taking care of this. I'm not the kind of person who can drop everything to. I know that like this is my destiny, and I could not give up my destiny for someone else. That's someone else's journey. But I'm the baby, gotta love me. Do you remember that? Do you remember Dinosaurs?
Of course, I watched the Dinosaurs. Vertebrae. Did you watch Dinosaurs?
Of course. Not
the mama. I'm gonna bite you now. That's the one that's very much like me. I'm gonna bite you now.
I used to have the toys.
Very morbid ending. How?
Oh yes, they all die.
Yeah.
I like my favorite is the news reporter. I'm Howard. Hand up me.
You're also a huge Pee-wee nerd. I know, right?
You're at my birthday party.
I was at the birthday party. Miss Cherry Delight dressed up as Pee-wee Herman, and all of the guests dressed up as Pee-wee Herman related guests. And then she went outside and did a whole photo shoot with everybody.
Oh wow! Well, we got to put that picture up, Shawn. On the
I have.
What's amazing about that night was everyone who came in costume. There were no repeats. Absolutely phenomenal. There were no repeats. Everyone looked so good. They put so much thought into their costumes. Even like Caramia Antoinette, she was Large Marge, which is funny because she's not Large Marge. She's like Little Hot Marge, as Bambi said. So she did the whole monologue with on a night like this. 10 years ago, I saw the worst accident I ever seen. There was this sound like a garbage truck fell off the Empire State Building. And when they pulled the body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.
And she had the eyeballs that like
she had the googly eyes, and then so it's so creative because I had the googly eyes. And she used them for that. And then she used the red party favor as the tongue when she blew into it. So the tongue came out and then the eyes came out.
Yeah.
So creative. But yeah, I'm a complete dork. Complete dork.
That's what we love on Id Madness. That's what we spread on Id Madness.
I
all of our
contain
nerds.
multitudes.
Hell yeah.
So normally, and you're our first guest that we're having on where we're just kind of sitting and chatting with a guest. We've had them on when we go through films and stuff, and we've gone through, we normally will do a movie and break it into a couple parts, but there's a couple movies, and then you can certainly talk about any movies you want, but I'm curious because we've done them now on the podcast where these films hit you and what you think of when you think of these films. So I'll give you the first one being The Exorcist.
Oh my God. Just one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. I mean, Linda Blair is just an absolute genius at that age. What she went through to do that role, the sacrifices that she made to create this masterpiece of being Regan, absolutely incredible. I mean, she got so many death threats and things like that as a fucking child for being this good of an actor. And also same for Gunnar Hansen, who was Leatherface. He got so many death threats for his performance, and much like myself, I want that, I want people to be so I know I will have made it when the Westboro Baptist Church is protesting out of Cherry Hellity's, outside.
Like a Slayer show.
Can someone please tell them, how fucking queer I am and how in your face, visceral and unapologetically sexual I am. And how I use a vibrator on stage during one of my songs. And
Weren't
sometimes
you tearing pages out of the Bible as you were reading, introducing your
yeah, I write everything in the Bible, and then when I'm done with it, I just throw it into this audience. Oh,
the power of Christ compels you.
Isn't that compelling? Is it? Listen, CCD dropout. But yeah, The Exorcist is something near and dear to me. And I love the makeup. I love the acting. I love Pazuzu. I always thought it's a good name for a dog. Pazuzu, come here.
Oh, that is adorable. That is
Pazuzu. And then you can combine it with its wonderful life. Pazuzu's pedals.
And the next film I want to hit is, and these are all films we've done. We extensively have talked about The Exorcist, got into all the production
on Christmas. We did Exorcist on Christmas, yeah,
because it was the anniversary of dropping it, and we say on the podcast it's insane that they dropped that movie 1973, December 26th. On a very unsuspecting public. In 73, you're not probably getting a sitter. The whole family's just going, oh, we'll go to the movies. And I just can't, people were passing out and they were getting carried out of the theater. It was amazing. But the next film is one that's super near and dear to Shawn's heart and mine as well. It's Halloween.
I've actually never gotten into Halloween.
You never gotten into it, or you never seen it?
Maybe both.
There you go. Good.
See, and this is good because this is.
I was saying to myself, they better not say a movie that I haven't seen. I didn't really grow up with slashers. I had to find them on my own. I grew up with like the psychological stuff. I grew up with, Hitchcock.
Right.
This is a big one for me. Like the first. I mean, my dad. The first time he like sat me down and was like, this is horror, and he showed me Psycho, and then he showed me like other films like Wait Until Dark and other things like that are creepy slow burn movies. But I didn't grow up with slashers. I would just see them accidentally, or my cousin Lauren, who's like one of my biggest influences in life, if not my largest. She introduced me to metal and horror and all of the things like that. And she is really the one responsible for this. And she knows that.
Well, if you ever get a chance to see it, it has got a lot of Psycho connections to it. And I would say we say on the podcast,
I can't not see it.
A lot of people have emulated it and it's become a slasher genre. But that film set a bar so high that none of them got anywhere near it after that. They just picked up, the bits and pieces and changed them what they thought people were seeing, but they didn't really get into the film. So, but a big Psycho connection. What about, I'll rattle off a couple, and if you haven't seen them, no big deal. Let's see, what's a big one for us? What about The Witch?
Oh, so much fun. What a great movie to see in the theater. That was a fucking blast. The other movie that I had so much fun in the theater with, equally as much as that, was Drag Me to Hell. I had a great time with both those movies. I was just thinking of my best friend Pearls Daly, who is a huge horror fan, as well as a horror actress and horror director, who you should be interviewing. You saw her perform in Helides. She is just a little spitfire and incredible. She's the love of my life. It's my best friend in the world. What was I even saying? Because I just went into a tornado of love for her in my brain.
We're talking about The Witch.
The Witch. We saw it in the theaters together. And when the boy goes to the clearing with the house in the middle of the woods, she's so much fun to watch horror movies with because she reacts so strongly. The boy finds the house in the woods. She grabs my thigh and goes, oh shit. It was so, and okay, no, the best thing was when we were watching the movie, it's the part where the girl is doing peekaboo with her baby sibling, and then she opens her eyes and the baby's gone. You hear rustling in the woods, and Pearlie went, what?
Yeah.
In the empty, in the totally had a silent theater. The baby's gone. She goes, what? It was great. It was hysterical to watch it with her. I love watching horror movies with her, and she is going to be the next Jamie Lee Curtis. I know that, and I have a song on my next album about her as the final girl in a horror film.
Cool.
Actually, I have two songs for her too, because one is going to be used in a horror film that's going to be coming out that she's directing and starring in.
Can you tease that a little bit, or no info can be leaked about that yet?
About her movie?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
There you go. We have to have her on, Shawn, and then she can tell us about
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I have to ask Pearlie's permission before I say anything about that. So
I wanted
And
to
so
quickly
you
ask you
mentioned
about.
Hitchcock.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to ask because I have deep love for Hitchcock films, and people are always asked like, "What's your favorite Hitchcock film?" But I like them for different reasons.
High Anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah.
N-
Nice.
You know that Mel Brooks did the parody
Yes.
on all the Hitchcock
Yes.
films, High
Yes.
Anxiety,
The comedy. Yep. Yeah.
and all the birds shit on him. It's so good.
Yeah. That's Sean's favorite film, The Birds. He doesn't like it so much.
I'm sorry. I'm a
Boys.
big Psycho guy, but I'm not a big Birds guy.
My favorite is when he's carrying the mother's body down the stairs, and the voice says, "So you think when she's going to the fruit cellar, she says, so you think I'm fruity, do you?" And every time I see that, and the mother's voice says, "So you think I'm fruity, do you?" I say to myself, "What?" I'm like, they couldn't have made that. Oh, I should mention, I have a Psycho-themed bathroom. I forgot to tell you, I have a Psycho-themed bathroom.
Oh, wow.
What do you got in there?
My husband's in the shower right now, but it's 3 images from the movie of like Norman doing his thing, and then the body, and then the screaming, and then inside the shower there's like a wooden plaque up. You'll see it above the door that says Bates Motel. Like something like vacancy. I forget what it says. It's a nice painted sign. I just can't remember for the life of me what the sign that I see every day of my life says.
Yeah, I love Psycho.
I love the look at the end is that he gives. I talk about this a lot. There's a certain type of fear that makes your asshole just go nope. And it's a very specific kind of fear. It's the fight or flight, where all the holes in your body involuntarily say, danger, nothing is getting inside. And that's what I really strive for on stage and in my music videos. There's a very specific reaction that I love that you just cannot help, where your asshole just says, nope. And that's an important thing for your sphincter to feel the fear, because scaring is caring.
Yeah. And that pretty much guarantees I probably will never see you live, but I will watch every single video that you put online, because although I have this podcast, Shawn knows this, right? I need to get up and move around, and I would probably go outside for a minute and come back in, and yeah.
We're gonna Clockwork Orange your ass. We're gonna tie you to the chair. We're gonna pry your eyes open. We're gonna do the drops, and like I say, I am Miss Cherry Delight, and there's no escape.
Yes, for someone who does a horror podcast, he's very easily perturbed. It's funny.
I am, and you know what? As an artist, Shawn, you know this. I been drawing for years and creating, and so I take everything like it's too internal for me. I internalize every single thing I see. That's just how I end up creating.
But also,
things, so
I should
then
explain...
I can't step out of my mind. But I will tell you this: that I watched all your videos that are on the website, and I watched a couple of live performances on YouTube before you came on, and your voice is sensational. Absolutely amazing. And so I'm kind of don't go anywhere anyway, so maybe that's just a testament to me, but
it's a little sheltered.
Yeah, Sean's invited me everywhere all the time, but +1s and all that
can
stuff.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
Get a grip.
Yeah. I love it. I'm now getting counseling on the podcast. This is amazing.
Get it together.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I could give to you.
I think
my wife's
and also snap out of it. That's another one.
Yeah. I appreciate it. But your voice is amazing, and we're excited to have the new album come out. We will certainly put music on the playlist.
But I didn't get to explain the title.
Yes, please do.
Advice for Ashes. It's the idea of so the album is dedicated to my best friend Frankie Maddox Rex of the FMs, who passed away against his will on May 11th, 2022 to an accidental fentanyl overdose. The idea is you want to give someone you love advice to persevere, but they're in a fucking vase now, you know? So it's advice for someone. It's too late. There's sand now. It's advice for ashes. So
Wow.
Clever title.
Yeah.
Clever title. What can you tell us about the animated music video you were talking about before?
Yes, I have quite a few duets on this album. One is with Vision Video. One is with Ashley Bad. One is with the band Night. And this song, Alone With Me, is with the incredible Marika Bresseliers, who many people know as a former lead singer for Lords of Acid. She is the epitome of just rock star. Watching her live, which is how I met Scott, actually. I met Marika and Scott on the same night because she called me on stage and like she looked into my eyes, I looked into her eyes, and we just knew we're both performers. We're just gonna go for it. And people thought that it was a plant because we just came together like in this way. Everyone's like, was she already a plant like in the audience? But like I followed her lead. She knew I wasn't going to upstage her. And we just had this whole thing where we seduced each other on stage. And Scott was in the audience. And that's how I met him. And for about a good year, people were like, were you that girl on stage with Lords of Acid? Like at parties, they'd be like, it was actually. But Marika and I got very close during lockdown online. And we helped each other get through a lot of it, just psychologically being locked up. And I wrote this song for us to sing together. And what's really funny is conceptually with this song, I don't know if you're familiar with Eminem at all. Do you? Okay, so there's this song that he has with Dr. Dre called Guilty Conscience, something
Can
like
we
that.
please add this to the? I'm going to use this as an excuse to add it to the In Madness playlist on Spotify right now. Yes, I do enjoy that song.
So that song is ridiculous.
Yes.
So the idea is, so first of all, when I'm saying that it was inspired by this concept, in no way is it inspired by the sound.
Of course.
The idea is Dre is supposed to be Eminem's conscience telling him to not indulge in dark things. But I thought it would be interesting, rather than just having two girls singing a song, what if Marika was the voice in my head telling me that I will never be enough, that I will always be a monster, and I should always, always indulge in everything dark I ever want to do, you know? And having no escape from that, and having this helpless feeling of always being under the thumb of an evil voice telling you that you will never be good enough and you will always be fucking shit and you will always disappoint people and you will always be a failure. So I thought that having her be that voice would create a really interesting narrative in the story, because in the Miss Cherry Delight, she's very much like a Black Widow situation, and she meets this one guy where she's like, maybe it's going to be different this time, maybe I don't have to hurt this person, and then she basically is like, what are you talking about? You are meant to be alone. You are a fucking monster. This is what you want. You want to hurt people, and it will never get better. And you will always be like this. So the song has that general mood behind it. So it's Alone With Me. And there is going to be an animated music video for that, my first ever. We are going to have to crowdfund for that because we're having a team of animators, and I cannot afford that right now. not this early in my career. But it's going to be directed and driven forward by Anthony Kona, who is an animator on Has Been Hotel, which just premiered. He was just at the Hollywood premiere for that. So I'm very excited and honored to be a cartoon finally, and have this story be presented in this way, because, in animated worlds, you have freedom to make so much more happen than you can behind a camera.
with all the digital effects and everything. There's another person that you're closely connected to that I wanted to talk about as well. You were speaking about theatricality. You are a good friend with Gwar. You have a history with Gwar. Before Miss Cherry Delight, there was the character that you had, Estrogena.
Yes, it was me.
Can you tell me about Estrogena and your history with Gwar?
I have been a fan of Gwar since high school. And I had the honor of meeting Dave Brockie several times.
I was gonna ask you for a Dave Brockie story, please, if you have one.
First time I talked to Dave, I was soaked to the bone. I'm always in the front at Gwar shows. So, you know, when you've seen Gwar obviously many times. So afterwards, when you're walking and you hear the squish, squish in your shoes, and they always only come to the East Coast in the wintertime, which is such an inconvenience because you go outside and you're going to catch pneumonia because you're soaked. Like you just jumped in a pool and stayed in the pool for an hour and then got out of the pool with all your clothes on. That's what it's like after a Gwar show, except it's all rainbow colors. So I was like that. And Dave had just gotten out of his costume, had just showered and put on clean clothes. In fact, I remember he had a black thermal shirt with the embroidered Scarface logo on it, which is very cool. He was all clean. His hair had just been washed. And I went up to him and I said, "Are you Dave Brockie?" He said, "Maybe." I said, "Can I hug you?" And he looked at me and said, "Do you have to?" And I went, and he went, "Fine." And then he gave me a really nice bear hug. And I just thanked him for everything that he had brought to the music world. And he was like, "Oh, you know, you're welcome," you know. And every time I would see Gwar at Toad's place, it wasn't the only place I saw Gwar. I'd follow them around, but most of the time it was Toad's place. He would see me in the front and we'd always have an interaction. One time he would he'd take my hand, like kiss my hand as odorous. Amazing. But the last time that I saw him, I'm wearing leggings to this show, right? So I'm up against the barricade. So when you're up against the barricade, as you know, the pressure from all the spew, if it gets you in the eye, it'll feel like it's cutting your eye. Like it's very, very strong pressure. So he sees me in the front. He takes his cuttlefish. He hoses down my tits. And then he just does a steady stream right here. He does a steady, he got the love button right where it was. And I don't know what to say, but if it had been, even if it was cold water, if it had been 30 seconds more, I would have.
Shout out to the cuttlefish of Cthulhu.
So I had sex with Odorous, is what I'm trying to say.
That's amazing.
Odorous masturbated me with the water pressure from his cuttlefish.
That's exactly the story I was hoping I would get from a Dave Brockie story. He
was going down the stage. He was going down stage right, letting people graze their hands over the untlick. And I was talking to a friend, and then I looked back, and he was there looking down at the stage with the untlick, waiting for me to graze my hand over it. And I was like, and that was the last time he looked in my eyes. I'll never forget that. But the thing I'll never forget, a thing I'll really never forget, was being so soaked like that. It was snowing outside, and I saw him outside smoking a cigarette, talking with people, and I was so uncomfortable because I was so soaked. And I looked at him across the room and I said, "Next time. I'll talk to him next time." I hate that I said that. Why did I do that? You can't do that. You cannot guarantee there will ever be a next time. If you're ever in that position, don't do it. Go up to someone. Tell them you love them. Always. Don't wait till next time.
Rest in peace, Dave Brockie. But you had a character called Estrogena that you would support and follow the band with, right?
Estrogena was created for the Orgasmageddon comics. and I was asked to help develop this character. So a lot of this character was had me in it. And what's so great about Estrogina was she's nothing like Slimenstra. Slimenstra versus Estrogina. First of all, just look at their name. Slimenstra is a parody on Clymenstra, but the name has menstruation in it, which is to reject the baby. So her attitude is very all about herself. She doesn't need the scumdogs. She's looking for an equal. She's just there to be the goddess, but she has no real attachment to anyone. Estrogina has the word estrogen in it, so she is very protective. And if you think about nature, you think about what's the scariest thing in the animal kingdom? Like a mother, like the mama bear. If you go after a cub and the mama bear comes out, you'll be Timothy Treadwell.
I was gonna say, I just saw that.
He came back in 4 trash bags, and that's what a mama bear will do to you. And that's Estrogina. She is very loyal to the scumdogs, and she wants to protect them and fuck anyone who gets in their way. And she, but one of the most important things about Estrogina is she's funny. They never had a girl in Gwar who was really very funny, quick-witted. And she's, imagine if there was a scum dog woman who was basically like Tank Girl. She was very modeled after the attitude of Rebecca. And that's the best way I could describe Estrogina. She had a lot of moxie, a lot of grit, very punny. She was, she learned to fight from Slimenstra. She learned how to think from Odorous. So she's a real, but Slimenstra doesn't necessarily feel any attachment to her either. But Estrogina is all about avenging Odorous and trying to get to Mr. Perfect so they can destroy him. So she was a really fun character to do. It was a very short part of my life, but you know, I had a great time doing it. I met some of my closest friends doing this thing, but I'm really glad that I didn't stay with it, because I knew that if I stayed with it, I would have been stuck in there. And I want to keep loving Gwar. And that means that I shouldn't work with Gwar. You know, I want to be able to enjoy Gwar, and we have that mutual respect for each other, but there should be some space, because it was Bambi who told me that I don't need to jump onto someone else's projects to make my own dream come true. You know, I have all the things that, you know, I have the experience to create my own world. And she said, would you rather be the star or a footnote in someone else's story? And I really thought about that. And I was on the train and I said, well, what would Miss Cherry Delight say if she had to say anything? And then I took out the note section of my phone and I wrote the lyrics to Cherry Blood. And that was the beginning of everything. And now this song that I wrote on the fucking L train has almost 1 million streams just on Spotify alone. It's crazy. You never know what could happen, you know?
That's amazing. Awesome. That's very
absolutely
cool.
Amazing. And I want to share, Shawn doesn't know this about me, so I'm going to tell him this for the first time, but I've a teeny tiny connection to Gwar. So about 15 years ago, Bobby Gorman was living in New York, and I used to show at a co-op gallery with him called Subculture Gallery. So we would show kind of on a monthly or bi-monthly basis artwork and paintings and lots of kind of juxtaposed style art. And at one point, some of the guys came in costume to one of our openings and did a whole thing there. So there's a little tiny connection, but he was a cool dude, and it was a cool time period. But awesome story. Thank you.
My first.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying my first time as Estrogina at 5 Points Fest in Brooklyn was when I got to be with Chuck as Sexecutioner for the first time. And we were walking around together, you know, bringing attention to our booth. And he says to me, Estrogina, why don't we take a look at these sexcellent wares? And I'm thinking to myself, what is my life right now? I am walking around as a Gwar character with Sexecutioner. who really is the founder of Guar. You know, it was Chuck and Hunter and then Dave. But he's the OG, and all of the blood that I use on stage, fun fact, is Guar blood.
Very
It
cool.
so Chuck had me in his kitchen. He made me swear to secrecy that I would not tell anyone how to make this. This is not the blood that spews on the audience. This is their hand-to-hand combat blood that they have in little squibs and little like baggies. So if they go and then it explodes on you, it's that blood. So he taught me how to make that, so I never have to buy blood again. I can make it in my kitchen. The only catch with this blood is you cannot eat it. So if you want to put it in your mouth and swallow it, then you have to make another formula for it. But it looks really good. But some of the supplies from it are not edible. So other than that, you know, it just looks really good. So I can make a whole garbage bag of it if I want.
Yeah, I have a favorite Guar song I want to add to the In Madness playlist. We're going to add a lot of music.
Which one?
Yes. I want to put Have You Seen Me is one of my favorite. Have You Seen Me?
One of the first Guar songs I ever heard. I think it was that one, and I think that it was Ragnarok, which is funny because that's Chuck's voice. What
song do you want to add to the what Guar song do you want to add to the In Madness playlist, Cherry?
Oh, I love Hail Genocide is a lot of energy. I love You Are My Meat because it cracks me up. I love what's that one? Why can the darkness be part of the light? Who's got the strength enough to fight? No. What's the one? If I Could Be That is also another one that I love because I love the and I love the breakdown. The I want you. You know, whenever I see Guar, whenever I just my body becomes rubber and I just become Gumby. I'm shouting every single lyric. Bambi saw me from like the balcony of Irving Plaza years ago when Chuck was in the last show because I'm just screaming all the lyrics. She's like, you knew everything. But, you know, Chuck's big thing that he wanted as executioner, now that Hunter, you know, was back speaking to Guar, he said, my bucket list thing, that all I want to kill Techno Destructo on stage once and for all. I want to kick his ass on stage. So he got to do that. And me and my friend Tara in the front saying, kill him! Fucking kill him! Yes, sexy! Get him! Destroy him! You know, it was so much fun. And he heard us and he's like getting more pumped. But the thing I love about Chuck as executioner, he has more freedom and more energy than the other ones do because he's not bogged down by all that costume. So he has really free limbs. And if you watch him move, every single thing about all his movements, it's all Three Stooges and Looney Tunes. Every single thing about the way, like he'll get up by picking himself up by his ponytail, you know, like things like that. It's all completely cartoon-like, and he's the only one who really did that. Aside from Odorous, who would not just like come out and command, but he'd also be like, yeah, you know, he'd like do like little cutesy things, shake his ass. I miss that butt, a nice juicy butt.
I miss Odorous dearly. Just his banter in between songs would just be golden. He was the best.
It was the heart of Guar, was everything that Dave Brockie brought that was just so quick and so fucking funny. And it's just a shame because, like, I mean, Guar is always going to be great, but it's really what Dave brought to the table. But I will say it was not the Dave Brockie show. It's a well-oiled machine that everyone put something into. That being said, it's Dave's, you know, his banter and stuff like that just made Guar so charming. Or whenever I try to introduce people to Guar, it's always with them on the Joan Rivers show, where you get a real taste of what they are instead of just seeing like these human gory Muppets,
Yeah.
which is also what they are too.
Hell
I
yeah.
also will mention that I sang karaoke with Don Drakelich in his living room with him.
Wow.
And we did Alice in Chains
Cool.
together. And then he did These Boots Are Made for Walking. But he did it with the voice of a chicken. But I've hung out with Don.
Very
and
cool.
I don't really hang out with the other ones too much. Bishop knows me. Bishop is friendly with me. But I mean, Chuck is my neighbor, and you know, he's like a very paternal figure to me. Like he and Bambi kind of like watch over me and make sure that I'm good.
I love the way you always pay them respects at your show and shout them out. I really want to talk about you recently won a Wavy Award. Can you explain to the
I won my first music award.
Is that what the Wavy Award is?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Wavy, like sound wave.
Gotcha.
So I found out that I was nominated for a music award. I did not submit to it. Like I saw like a thing on Instagram, like, and you know, for best live performance, congratulations, Miss Cherry Delight is nominated. And I was like, what's this? And then I messaged them. I said, excuse me, please tell me what this is. And they're like, a music award, like a major music award. You were nominated. I said, how? And they said, we had several fans like nominate you. And you're the only one who had other people nominate you. Everyone else nominated themselves. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I just ran with it as my first red carpet event. And I had the incredible Mr. Gorgeous make me this costume that was like all guts and stuff like that. But it was a parody on the Bob Mackie dress, the flame dress that Bob Mackie made for Cher and Tina Turner, except it was all blood and guts and glitter. And I arrived at the Wavy Awards in the back of a hearse.
Hell yeah.
A hearse adorned in skulls. They opened the door from the red carpet and I came out and they had the paparazzi taking my picture. And then I got my first red carpet pictures taken, and that was a lot of fun. And my award was presented by the badass Sophia Chang, who's basically the first Asian woman in the hip hop world. And to represent, I am half Filipina, so, you know. And she was the one who got to announce that I won. And that was insane. And I was so honored and so happy. And I think I was one of the only ones who actually like prepared a little speech thing. But I was so proud to do that. And I love winning. Winning's my favorite thing. Why settle? You know, winning is so fun. I highly recommend it. And I'm looking forward to more of that.
More winning, yeah.
And I'm relentless. I'll stop at nothing. You know, we all have our moments where we're like, I don't know if I can do it, and then you just have to keep going. And because winning is just the best thing, and you just have to look forward to each time you win. Sometimes you have to fail big to get the big win, because you have to remember that doors that close on you are huge favors. They are they will help you with having not wasted your time. You know, things that close on you, opportunities that don't happen, are steering you towards the things you should be doing. So when doors close on you, don't be discouraged, because it's going to lead you to a better thing, you know?
You're full of positive inspiration for this entire show and your entire life. I love that this has been one of the most inspirational.
It's yeah, like there's like the whole scary thing, but like also I'm not scary at you, as I was telling you, Vertebrae. Like you're saying, oh, I'm scared. I can't come to your show. I'm gonna go outside. It's not about that. I'm not scary at you. I'm scary.
I get it.
with you. We're together on this. And people connect to Miss Cherry Delight because they like living through her. I'm an anti-hero, but I'm there to like, yeah, there's elements that should make you uncomfortable, but it's really to scare away the normies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
there's something about, being Miss Cherry Delight that people love because she's not perfect at all. She suffers, she's fun and she's a great time, but she deals a lot of demons and things like that, and things that a lot of people go through. And people really connect to that, and that's a really important thing about performing as this character, this element, this exaggerated part of me. And I think that Miss Cherry Delight is meant to give a lot of people power and confidence, and to just go for whatever they need to go for without fear.
Hell yeah. Listen up, In Madness family. Listen to what Miss Cherry Delight is telling you. Vertebrae, do you have any other questions you wanted to ask Miss Cherry Delight?
I'm blown away by the interview. I had questions, but now they don't matter anymore because
No, go ask.
no. But what I'm going to say is that this second layer to the art that you create and this message that you're also delivering with it, and this inspirational and this empowerment and everything, I think is amazing. And I think that's sometimes what people miss when they sort of look at something quickly, right? Somebody's art quickly, and they just take it at first blush and give a quick opinion. We're so quick to just swipe videos, and
that's why I've got my Frankenstein. He just wants to sniff his flower, and everyone wants to destroy him. When you look at something, that's
right.
And Bowie showing off the tattoos. Check out the tattoos on the In Madness YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube to see Miss Cherry.
Yeah, this is the best. This will be the best YouTube because it's usually Shawn looking really cool with his sign and me reseated in the dark with a bunch of toys and posters behind me. So this is actually a visual.
All my toys are in the shower.
For one. So
yeah, Cherry.
But I love every bit of it. I really do appreciate you kind of delivering all of that message to us, and I'm psyched for what comes next. I feel like we need to have you on again after your album drops and kind of talk about that. And
I didn't get to tell you my favorite horror movie, though.
Yes, tell us your favorite horror movie.
We talked about one horror movie I didn't know and two that I did.
Go for it.
My habit is asking all of our guests, every single one of them, Miss Cherry Delight, what is your favorite scary movie?
My favorite scary movie has recently changed.
You did tell me this, but you mentioned them both because I know you mentioned two.
And I can't believe that it changed because my favorite horror movie for the past 17 years, 18 years has been House of a Thousand Corpses. I know it front to back. I've memorized everything in the little DVD commentary, like not the commentary, but like the little like extra things that you get, like tiny fucked stuff, like all that good stuff, like but my new favorite horror film is Pearl. It's fucking Pearl, dude. Like, I saw it recently and I thought it would be good, but I didn't know it was going to be a masterpiece. Holy shit. And I'm so glad that I saw it before X. I highly recommend watching Pearl first and then watching X, because Pearl is, it just blew me away. I've only seen it like 4 times now since right before the new year, but I've memorized it. I'm totally sober for like 16 years. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke or anything like that. So I don't do any drugs, I don't touch any of that stuff. So my memory is insane. Like I just remember things. I've kind of always been that way, but because I'm just so aware and in control, like I can hear something and I just know it. So I absolutely love the story of Pearl. And my favorite part is at the end where she does an entire speech and it's all in one take. And it's so crazy. Like the acting is so good. I love the gore is great. The makeup is gross. I don't want to spoil anything you haven't seen, but like the burn makeup is absolutely disgusting. And apparently the people who own the house that was used for the movie loved what they did so much they kept it. They kept the wallpaper and everything, and they kept the barn exactly as is. I also love about Pearl is that they wrote it while they were doing X because they didn't want to waste the set. They wanted to continue using it with the time that they had. So they made this other second film, which is really much better than the first, much more interesting. And Mia Goth, what a great name. She's also a Scorpio, and she did a great job. But I fucking love that movie so much.
Madness family, listen up. If you haven't seen either House of a Thousand Corpses or Pearl or X or Miss Cherry Delight, you need to look all this stuff up. Before we wrap up real quick, I want to quickly ask you, do you have a favorite piece of like horror merchandise that you own, like a poster, a t-shirt, or like a DVD or a VHS or a flag or something?
Oh God. Oh.
Here we go. Can you do it? Check out our YouTube.
Yeah, hold on.
Show it. You're gonna try and show it.
Hold on. I'll get it.
He's getting up.
I'll get it.
She's running off. She's grabbing it. She's digging through the crates right now.
Damn it. Hold on.
Thank you for doing this, Miss Cherry Delight. Oh no, there's the vacuum.
Left the room. She'll be back in a second. This
She'll
is
be
awesome.
back in a second. Vertebrae, thank you for helping me with this interview. This has been great.
Yes.
Whoa! Alice Cooper's head. Cherry just held up Alice Cooper. Cherry, you have to send me a picture of that to post on our In Madness socials. Look at that creepy mother effer.
Nice.
Where did you get that from?
This was a birthday present last year. This is the same exact prop that is used on stage during I Love the Dead. Wow. When they do the decapitation, this is the exact same size. So it has to be a little bit larger to read on stage. It's not the exact same size as Alice's head, but it is because if you're far away, like it needs to be seen really well. But they hold it up after the decapitation for I Love the Dead.
So sick. Thank you for going out of your way. Yeah, make out with this dust. Is there anything else coming up that you wanted to promote, Cherry?
Let's see. May 11th of this year, we are planning to start the very first, which will be annual. We're doing a show called Frankie Fest, which is going to be not just a memorial to Frankie Rex of the FMs, who, like I told you, is the inspiration behind Advice for Ashes, but he was such an incredible singer. And I never asked Frankie to sing backup for me for Holidays because I knew that he was going to upstage me. But because he is so good. So we're creating Frankie Fest, which is going to be a queer music festival, except it's all going to be rock and metal and punk and things that are in your face and loud. Because there's like queer music festivals and stuff like that, but none of them are really like pack a huge punch like that. So there'll be shock rock. There'll be all these things that have like at least some sort of queer element to them. And that will be in honor of Frankie, and we'll be doing it every year. And we're going to have like certain proceeds probably go to like fentanyl awareness stuff. And then, I'm going to be doing my first tour. Hey, I haven't told anybody that either, too.
Exclusive.
I haven't told anybody that either. But I'm telling you, shit.
I'm not editing that out.
I'm telling you, guys, you're making me spill so many beans in this.
Go, Cherry.
At the end of October, I'm
That's
touring
what's
for the first time,
That's
and I'm
what's up.
terrified.
That's congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
I'm not terrified performing. I'm terrified financially.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is the beginning of my journey. Even though like I like to be professional and give a nice shiny package, but this is the beginning of my journey. And because it's the beginning, this comes out of my pocket, you know. I don't have any sponsors right now. It's all me. So I have to work very hard outside of being Miss Cherry Delight and not buy stupid shit, so I can put all of it and keep my eyes on the prize on every single crazy thing we're doing this year, because this is my future. And I can't buy stupid things on Amazon, and I can't get a billion tattoos, like, which is funny because I'm getting one on the 25th.
But that'll be it. After the 25th, that's it.
That'll be it. Okay, so I have a few tattoos I have to do this year, but yeah, I'm doing my first tour at the end of October. I have a song that I'm promoting with the incredible, my dear friend Dusty from Vision Video. We have a song coming out together called Glow in the Dark that I wrote for us, and it's about having sex with a ghost. And it's so good. It's so good, and I know that everyone is going to love it so much. And we're going to be promoting that and the new album. And it's going to be starting in Athens, Georgia. Our performance there is going to be Friday, October 25th. And I have to plan other shows that are going to be around that area, I think. I don't have a tour manager right now. I've never done this before. So as you can imagine, I feel insane. By the time that people have seen this, I mean, this is on the internet, so it will last forever. I look forward to looking back at this interview and saying, oh, I'm so glad that it worked out.
Yeah.
Because at that time, in February 10th, 2024, Cherry had no idea what was going to happen, but it all worked out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be incredible, and I know it's going to work. I know it's going to be incredible. My musicians are very professional, and my fan base is so dear, and they really give a shit about this music. So I'm so happy and so honored and focused and positive and not afraid of all the good things that that all of us have to look forward to, not just me, but other people, with everything that I'm putting all of me into this project. We have like 15 songs we've been working on since like, oh God, how long? I have even a song. Fangoria is going to have a fun time with this. I have a song coming out about the Hello Kitty murder. Are you familiar with this true crime case?
No.
Okay, anyone who's watching this, and you too also, go on Wikipedia and type in the Hello Kitty murder case. Oh boy. Yeah, I wrote a song about this, and I know that horror magazines are going to be like, Miss Cherry Delight had the raw audacity to write a song about this disgusting case, because I'm a true crime girl, and I usually have a lot of songs about true crime. I have a song inspired and on EP Evidence about Issei Sagawa. I have songs inspired by my favorite cult case obviously is the Black Dahlia, and her would have been 100th birthday is the end of July. So I'm getting a tattoo commemorating her. It will not be an image of her, but it's going to be a really beautiful image of like a coffin that's kind of split. And I think it's going to say, we are not what happens to us. Because we're not, I'm not what's happened to me. She was more than, what happened to her. You hear the name Elizabeth Short, you don't know who it is. You hear the Black Dahlia. Oh yeah, of course. She died, and she was split in half, and with no blood on the scene of the crime. So we know that, but not everyone knows that she was this 22-year-old girl who was trying to be an actress and ran into the wrong people who made a lot of promises, to this innocent girl who just wanted to be a star and would believe anything anyone said. She moved across the country from Medford, Massachusetts. Okay, yeah, sure. Of course. What else happens when you're a 22-year-old girl and someone tells you that they're going to give you the moon? You end up in a vacant lot in Limerick Park, Los Angeles, But, I have a very strange connection to Elizabeth Short that I can't really explain. But I had to write that song about her as a love letter to her. So that tattoo is happening. And my husband's arm just came in through the door. like Sloopy Sales was White Fang with the monster arm. My husband, the bear.
Anyway, so what are the socials people can follow to follow everything Miss Cherry Delight's doing one more time?
Well, like I said in the beginning, it's all just my name, lowercase. I'm going to be posting a lot more on TikTok this year. I took a little break because my life is just finishing up this album. We have like 7 more songs to do all the fine tuning on before we master and we have the congratulations, you have an album. So on TikTok, on Instagram, and on all the different things, it's lowercase Miss Cherry Delight, MISS, Cherry, DELIGHT, just the way it's spelled. And I will be releasing little teasers, things like that going forward, because right now, this month is when we're going to really get the ball rolling with the visuals and all the different little things to look forward to. So definitely keep your eye out. I have a whole new, because it's a whole new album, we have a whole new show with all these new songs. And for the album release party, there's going to be backup dancers like they were for the first album release. But if you like Eat the Evidence, this is, I listen to Eat the Evidence now, and it's a lot of fun. But I listen to it, I'm like, I can do so much better than this. And that's exactly what we're doing. It's a lot more complex, a lot more interesting. Songs have a lot more drive. Some very Wargasm UK vibes to them. But even some Lana Del Rey vibes to some of them. But in a way that's like unsettling. We have that song, the song that I wrote for Pearly for the horror movie. We find that horror movie songs are best when they're unsettlingly vulnerable. So we wrote something that's like that, because if you put really disturbing images with something really innocent sounding, something about that combination makes it so much scarier. So we went with that for this. And yeah, there's a lot of really deep meanings, a lot of songs. And then there's just a song about how I like getting choked, too.
Yeah. Make sure you follow Miss Cherry Delight on the socials.
What can I say?
Yes. Follow
you
us
like
as well.
what you like!
At In Madness Pod. Hit us in the mail sack, inmadnesspod@gmail.com.
In the mail sack.
In the mail sack.
In the mail, MALE sack. And in the mail sack.
There was a Twitter poll to decide which one it was going to be, and the MAIL one. Subscribe to the YouTube so you can see Miss Cherry Delight. Make sure you give us that 5-star review. Smash those like buttons. Subscribe to the In Madness Spotify playlist. Tell your friends. Spread the madness worldwide. What were you going to say, Cherry?
Watch the Cherry Blood music video. Though it was my first video, that was it's the best intro if you really want to get to know me. Watch that music video. And I also have never mentioned that I have a secret track on YouTube. If you're familiar with the song Summer Wine, there was a song by, is it Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood? It's like a Western kind of song called Summer Wine. And in 2019, it was my first single. And we took this song and we made it like a goth, fuck ballad, backseat of the car situation song, but not a lot of people know that it's there. So, and it doesn't have a lot of views because when I first started this, I just didn't understand how to promote myself. But if you want a little treat, type in Miss Cherry Delight Summer Wine. It's not on Spotify because it didn't get approved by Lee Hazelwood's estate because we added a little something into it just to make it better. But anyway, it's on YouTube. And if you want a little something fun and sexy, that's a good little one a little Easter egg to check out. Other than that, we have all of Eat the Evidence. We have The Monster, which is inspired by Frankenstein's monster. We have Like You Hate Me, which is a really fun music video. Most of my music videos are directed by Dylan Mars Greenberg, and she's an absolute genius. And really understands my vision. So she's wonderful to work with. And we're filming the music video for the song Parasite, which is going to be the first song I'm going to end up releasing from Advice for Ashes, which is going to be really, really disturbing song. And is really about absolutely hating yourself. So it's a good one. It's a good relatable one with like you feeling like you can't do anything right, self-sabotage, and like punch me in the face because what am I worth anymore? So it's that feeling behind this. And
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
It's good.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Cherry. Vertebrae, was there anything you want to close out with before we tease our next movie?
Oh, so I do have the teaser, but I just first want to thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it. And
thank you.
Our YouTube likes are so low that you will probably give us a bump. I think it's just Shawn and I
skyrocket.
Yeah, they're going to skyrocket.
People
now.
They just need to wake up.
But we appreciate it.
We're on our own timelines, so you just have to have faith that your tribe will find you. And
yeah, we decided to do this just for us, and we didn't care if we did it and anyone listened. And the fact that people do listen, and you know how that feels more than we do, and pay attention and respond is amazing to us. So we appreciate you coming on. We'll definitely promote, promote when the album comes out, and excited. I am going to tease the next movie.
Okay,
if you know it.
Cherry, if you know the tease, don't scream out the movie. We always give a tease at the end of every episode, teasing what the next movie is.
They're the easiest tease.
Yeah, it's the easiest tease ever. I have one, but you also have one. I wonder if yours is the same as mine.
So it's a two-parter. It's based on a book, and it loves company.
Okay, I have one. Sledgehammer.
And with those three, you should be able to get this. But
thank you, Miss Cherry Delight. Okay, good. So what over it? It's so funny.
You said company, and I thought of Stephen Sondheim.
We give teasers, and a lot of people don't get them as easy as we think they always are. Thank you, Miss Cherry Delight. Thank you, Vertebrae. Thank you, In Madness family. Make sure you look up Miss Cherry Delight and all the incredible work that she is putting into everything.
That's Miss Scary to fright to you.
Yeah, check it out on the socials. Thank you for following us. This has been episode 24.5 of In Madness Pod.